Hello again, my name is Ernest Minu. Let's settle for the details now. Some displaced residents at Old Fadama have abandoned the canopies provided by the city authorities to serve as temporary structures. The squatters, including nursing mothers, were compelled to sleep at the mercy of the cold weather Wednesday and Thursday nights after the illegal structures were demolished to pave way for the dredging of the Kole Lagoon. The Accra Mayor Mohammed Nia Jaisuwa promised to provide tents for them. Last night, JoyNews discovered that the city authorities had provided canopies instead of tents. However, abandoned the canopies. Now, some of them who spoke to JoyNews described the move as insulting, arguing the canopies won't protect them against insects and harsh weather conditions.
Mr. Obakar, I see that they've given you some canopies here, but you are seated outside the canopy. Are you going to sleep? Are you going to sleep under the canopy?
Not.
Why?
The canopies is rejected by my own perspective.
Why have you rejected
it? Was filled with kiosks all over. They came and demolished it, and now they represent the rooms with canopy, which is an insulting aspect of it.
Oh, but half a loaf is better than none.
No.
At least this thing can protect you from the sun, can protect you from rain.
The afternoon.
Yeah, and can protect you from rain as well.
Yeah, but it's too painful. It's too painful.
So you still sleep in the open?
Yeah.
How are you going to sleep?
I prefer it than entering into the canopy. Because I can't lose a room, and now I'm sleeping under a canopy. It's an insult. It's too insulting.
Yesterday I spoke to you. You were sleeping on the metal chair here with some of your friends.
It's true.
And today I've seen that they provided you with some canopies.
This thing it can't help.
I mean, the canopies can help.
It can't help.
Why can't it
help?
Because
we don't have funeral here to do. So this thing it can't help us. We can't sleep under. Even afternoon time, the inside the seat, we are feeling heat. So this one,
I mean, this can protect you from the rain. No. Protect you from the sun. At least it provide a bit of shelter.
And what of mosquito?
But half a loaf is better than none, sir.
This one it will not help. It will not help. Even afternoon time, like if you are here afternoon time, if you go inside, you will see it can't help. Because this one is light. If sun heat, inside all is heat. So it can't help us. We can't sleep inside. See, by yourself, you see how it is.
So you won't sleep under?
No. If we sleep outside here, it's better.
In the open like this?
It's better. Because plenty mosquito, and this thing, nothing covers it. So if we sleep here, it's better. It's better. So we feel how, see, the thing is, and we come outside like this. If you are inside, mosquitoes. So if you come out like this, it's better. See how I'm sweating. You see?
I see. Boss, will you also sleep outside?
Oh. Yes.
You all sleep outside?
Yes. This one, it can help us. Yeah, it can help us. If you are inside in the afternoon, the sun will reflect the sun. A lot of holes are on top, so we can't see the under. So yes, better for us.
You are sleeping here tonight?
Yeah.
Yesterday, where did you sleep, by the way?
Here.
Here?
Yes.
Okay, so today I've seen that they've given you canopies. How do you feel about it?
The canopies is nothing, because still, mosquito they bite us. Still, we feel cool. So they don't cover anything for us apart from after the sun.
So what exactly do you want?
The thing we want, like the time we once started this thing, it's supposed to find the thing where we will find the place where we will sleep or the place where we will stay. Where this thing finished before, but they don't do that. So right now we find a place where we sleep. The place where we sleep. But right now, waiting to find the place where we sleep. Unless morning. By lockdown come, we no get money, we no dey do anything, we no dey work anything again. So we know if we get the money.
Do you have a wife? Do you have children?
Yes, I get.
You get a wife?
Yes.
How many wives?
I get 2 wives.
Oh, you get 2 wives?
Yes.
So why are they? Why are your wives?
One day.
And then where's the other one?
Other one is not here.
No.
Standing.
So she also come and sleep here?
Yes.
My colleague Chrissy Parker Wilson joins us via Skype now. Parker, thank you for joining us. You were there for the second time last night. Tell us about the tents. Where have they been mounted and how many?
Okay, so just a quick correction. It's actually not a tent, but a canopy.
The canopies, yes.
So,
the canopies.
Yeah, so I actually saw about 5 canopies that have been mounted at strategic points at Fadama where, of course, that should happen. If you even ask the people there, they tell me that the 5 canopies are not enough. And the number of people who have been displaced or affected, they need about 15 canopies where it can serve as a shelter for them in the afternoon. So 5 canopies that they even brought were inadequate. But that notwithstanding, they made a point about not using the canopies that have been provided because it wouldn't serve the purpose for which the city authorities brought them. The point I made was that the city authorities and the mayor himself had mentioned that there was a conversation between the slum dwellers and the authorities that they needed some tents as far as the demolition exercise is concerned. So they were expectant of some tents. They were waiting for the assembly to provide them with tents where they can cover them and shield them from some insects and mosquitoes. But of course, the canopies that they brought would not serve that purpose. And as you heard some of them say, they are going to reject it. They're going to use, they won't use it. They won't be under the canopies because they think it wouldn't really do anything to them. They had a kiosk, but now the structures have been demolished, and we bring them a canopy. Some of them even describe it as quite insulting for them. So last night, so when I visited the area, I still saw some people still sleeping rough. They were sleeping in the open, sleeping on chairs, the benches and tabletops. Of course, some of them had not on mattresses as well. And quite a few people were seen under the canopies asleep, but majority of them were sleeping outside the canopy, and the indication is that they are not going to use the canopy. So that was the situation when the team and I visited the slum dwellers last.
So 5 canopies, they're saying that is insulting, but even then the 5 will not be enough. How many are they looking at, to take care of the numbers?
Right, so they are looking at about 10 to 15 canopies, if there's anything to go by. And because we are talking about close to 1,000 over 1,000 people who have been displaced at Old Fadama. And if you provide 5 canopies, the argument they put, the advance is, let's assume that about 20, 25 people are under 1 canopy. Clearly, they wouldn't cater for the number of people who have been displaced. So it's important that they add more canopies. But now that they don't even want the canopies, they want the tent. And Ernest, we've heard the mayor, of course, when I spoke to him, had talked about provision of tents. So they were quite surprised and unhappy that you talk about tents, and yet what we see here is a canopy or canopy. So they wanted the authorities to fulfill the pledge by providing them with tents. But most importantly, they still want to go back to their hometown, their home region, where they come from, because they think that when they are there, they'll have a place to be, it's safer for them, and there wouldn't be any hassle. And last night, I met another pregnant woman who told me that by the end of the week, or probably early next week, it's likely she'll deliver. And her major concern right now is that when she returns from the labor ward, where is she going to keep her baby? Where are they going to sleep? Where are they going to spend the night? That is a major concern. So she was making a passionate appeal to the authorities to make available transportation, buses for them, transport them to the home region so that they can have safe delivery and have a very comfortable place for her baby when she delivers.
Yesterday when you went there, aside the issue of shelter, food was also a problem for them. Some of them were going to bed on empty stomachs. What was the condition yesterday?
Yes, it's still persists. In fact, there are those who have said that names were written for the social intervention programs that is being implemented by government during the period of lockdown. Unfortunately for them, they have not benefited from the social intervention programs. And because of the lockdown, they are unable to go to work because most of them are headquarters. They are Okada riders. They are unable to apply their trade, and so they don't have enough money on them. So eating has become quite difficult. How to survive has become a challenge and a problem for them. And again, they are asking that at least the food, the social intervention programs that is being implemented by the government should actually reach them, because they are there. They have no one to speak for them. Nobody's on their behalf. And they hear that food has come around, actually. The people are around. By the time they get there, they are done and they are gone. So most of them are not benefiting from the social intervention program. And they want government to come to their aid. They shouldn't use middlemen or intermediaries for the process. And the allegation is that they were selecting a few people to give them the food or the items government is sharing. And that is quite a concern to them as well. So Ernest, well, the allegation is that they are not benefiting from it. So government and the AMA should try and make sure that at least the provision and all the things that they are sharing at least get to them.
Parker, thank you very much for bringing us up to speed on the situation at Old Fadama. I know you'll be following up on this, and we'll do more, some more checks with the AMA to find out what has been done to alleviate the plight of these people. Now, Robert Amoafo is the country director of Amnesty International, which has been advocating for relocation of these displaced residents to the Trade Fair Center. Robert, we understand that you have been in touch with the authorities. What exactly have you done since the last time you got in touch with them?
Thank you very much. What we have done as an organization is basically to go to the field to verify the news item that has been going around and making attempts, as you have said, to reach the authorities to see the next steps that is expected to be done. Through our press release, we have made clearly our recommendations and what we hope that will be done as soon as possible. This issue is quite serious. If you look at the condition of the people, it's not something that we can wait any longer or decide that something that we can do later. I think it's an action that is supposed to be taken now, because this action was supposed to be taken way before a decision of a demolition was supposed to be considered.
They were promised tents. What they have now are canopies, and they find that very insulting. Why do you decide, what is behind the choice of the Trade Fair Center as a good place to relocate these quarters?
One, we are believing that we need a place that is large enough to house these people. And this is just a suggestion. We believe that the AMA has more powers and they have more available spaces that they can offer to these people. We believe that there's more that they can do. The only problem we have is the time and the fact that this didn't come before the demolition happened. We are hoping that as we go forward, they will at least today do something, move the people from there, and then also halt the demolition so that we don't add more people to this issue.
Yes, Robert, we know that it is the responsibility of government. We know that the AMA as a local authority is directly in charge and must ensure that these people are safe and under the best of conditions. But as an organization with a kind of authority that you have and the influence that you have, is there anything tangible that you can do for these residents? We seem to have lost Roberts there on Skype. We'll try and reconnect and find out if Amnesty International is in the position to provide some form of relief, tangibles for these people while we wait on government, which has ultimate responsibility as far as this is concerned. Roberts would reconnect with us, and then we will follow up on this story. So the story right now is that is the second day after the demolition of the the structures at Old Fadama to make way for the dredging of the Korle Lagoon. And Robert joins us again via Skype. Robert, thank you very much. We lost you briefly. He's on phone with us. I was just finding out, we know that government has ultimate responsibility. The local authority, that's the AMA, must ensure that they are safe. But as an organization, with the influence that you have, are you able to provide anything in the meantime while we wait on the authorities to do something?
Our responsibility as a human rights organization is to ensure that government does its responsibility or implements such a responsibility. We would call on our colleagues in the other international organizations that provide relief services. Okay. That's what we are doing now, calling on other international organizations that provide the relief services to come to their aid as soon as possible. But our role as Amnesty International globally is to always ensure that government implements its responsibility accordingly and ensure that every person is safe within the remit of the law.
Robert, thank you very much for your time here on NewsDesk. And like we did mention, we're going to follow up with the AMA to find out what has become of their promise to provide tents for these